At first, the Ataturk drive to modernize left little time for cut-and-dried tradition. But now, old customs are being revived as showpieces by the new generation. The music of the Janissaries, that once made Vienna tremble, is performed nowadays as a spectacular display by infantrymen and tank gunners of the Turkish army. Pride in history clings, and in honor of the conqueror of 1453, the latest mobile Honest John launcher is baptized Fatih. Long ago, the Turks learned to live with the threats that come to them from over their common frontiers with the Soviet Union and communist Bulgaria. Here the Iron Curtain becomes the brutal reality of barbed wire, minefields, and steel watchtowers. This silent, empty place, some 900 miles into Asia from the Mediterranean shore, is suddenly brought to life by the unlikely bustle of a train, courtesy of Turkish state railways. By any standard, it's a small train, but in the timetables it can boast of international status. And twice a week along this frontier, it makes a gesture of goodwill. For under the eyes of a Turkish officer, the driver travels alone 300 yards into Soviet territory. But over the years, his travels have been limited. For by sending the train back into Turkey, repeatedly the Soviet frontier guards acknowledged their responsibility for an artificial barrier to communications set up between East and West. As the Russians have gone to so much trouble to build an Iron Curtain, the practical Turks haven't bothered to put up their own fences. Watching the frontier is a thin screen of tough infantrymen, familiar with every inch of the ground they'd have to defend. They're commanded by a colonel, responsible for the right anchor of the NATO defense line, crossing Asia Minor and Europe to Norway's North Cape. Behind him are 500,000 armed Turks and the 14 other nations of NATO, some represented in a joint headquarters on Turkish soil. Staff officers of other NATO nations watch a crack Turkish armored division going through its paces. Turkish Navy is based in an area that has been vital to world strategy since sea power began. The narrows of the Bosphoros and the Dardanelles, the gateway to the Mediterranean from the east, the warm waters traditionally coveted by the rulers of Russia. But in time of peace, Turkey allows the ships of any nation to pass freely and without prior notice through the Bosphorus. On any and every day of the year, this 12-mile natural canal is a highway, packed with shipping that flies every known maritime flag. And along the shores, where for centuries armies camped and battled, there are now weekend homes and swimming clubs, yacht basins, and holiday apartment blocks. From the air, Istanbul gives a true picture of a city both dynamic and prosperous. But the sky view can't reveal the pressing problems facing Turkey. The need for still wider education, higher capital investment in industry, agriculture, and transport, better living standards, all dependent upon an effective development program for the country as a whole. Like all truly free people, Turks are often divided on the methods by which to achieve their objectives. But whatever their politics, they're resolved to preserve the independence and territorial integrity of the republic founded by Ataturk, and to make their own way free from interference.
Hey, hey, şu Konya'yı gele gide yol ettim, hey, yol ettim, hey, hey. Ey kızını kendi üstüme mal ettim, aman aman mal ettim aman. Yeşilim, yeşilim, yeşilim aman. Aç kapını gireyim, üşüdüm aman. Yeşilim, yeşilim, yeşilim aman. Aç kapını gireyim, üşüdüm aman.